Everyone, this is Brett Swinney from NetSN here at the Texas High School Coaches Association Coaching Clinic. I've got Coach Jeff Riordan from Chapel Hill. Coach, how's it going today?
It's going good.
Coach, coming off last year's semifinal, year before semifinal, I know what your goal is this year, Game 16. So what is it looking like on your off-season and summer preparation to get there?
I think the biggest thing is, our kids are still hungry. They still got the taste in their mouth from the last two seasons and not getting our ultimate goal of playing the state championship game and winning the state championship. So, I think that carried over into the offseason, kind of lingered with us a little bit. Kids have been committed, been working hard, just a little bit more drive around the field house. These kids are just showing up and giving us everything they got every day. And, we got a lot of experience coming back. So, that's going to help us, because I always say you can't coach experience. That's something that you can't coach. And, these kids are bringing back a lot of games that they played over the last 2 or 3 years. These seniors have played, roughly 13, 43 games, and this junior class has played 30 games in the last 2 years. So, we kind of lead the nation right now in amount of games played, but, we'd like to ultimately get to that final game.
Yeah, that's ultimate goal is getting that state championship. Now, you did say experience. You're losing quite a bit, a good chunk of the whole time you've been here. This is year 5, and you had 3 or 4 of those guys that played almost all 4 years with you. What are you seeing as far as guys stepping up to fill those roles for next season?
Losing guys like Deuce and Tyson and Kevion are big because they've been staples for 4 years. They started as freshmen for us my first year here. So in 4 seasons, I haven't coached a game without them 3 guys on the field. So it's a big loss. But now we got a program. We got a program installed. We just every year we're going to graduate some great seniors. The year before that, we graduated Solomon and Brack and some of those guys. And the next group steps up. It's kind of where we're at as a program right now. We're just going to reload. We're going to have different guys step up in different roles. And that's what's great about football. It's a complete team game. And you can't be successful at it unless all the pieces of that puzzle are firing on all cylinders. And I think we got a group that we bring back like 9 on offense, and that had some starting games experience, and then we have 6 on defense coming back. So that's a good nucleus of guys coming back, and we had a great JV season, a great freshman season. Our JV went 8-2, and our freshmen went 9-1 in one district. So we got some kids that are coming, that are in the program now, that have been around us and been around this coaching staff since we got here 4 years ago. And right now we just plug and play.
So we know we got Demetrius Brisman and Ricky Stewart, both committed to SMU. Everyone knows those guys. Give me some guys that people may not know that they need to watch for this season.
Guys that, everybody knows Ricky and D. They were freshman phenoms, super sophomores, Superman in the backfield for us. But we got several cats on our team that can go get it. I mean, this 24 class right now, I think, have 5 kids with D1 offers, with Dylan Drummond and Pablo Martinez up front that have been staples up front, Kendall Allen at defensive end, Day Ross at linebacker, Javen Mayfield and Cam Kelly are going to be big time this year. They've had great summers, great 7-on-7, big playmakers. So I think those guys. And then, you have like Darius Dean and Dylan Johnson. And Jonah had a great 7-on-7 and stepped up and is going to do some good things for us. We just look for, those guys to just continue to, build the legacy of what we're trying to do.
Now, you mentioned Jonah, getting to coach your son now. He's going to have a bigger role this season.
Yep.
What's it like getting to coach your son? I mean, it's a cool experience, I know. So what is it kind of like getting to coach your son on the field?
He's just another one of the guys out there when I'm coaching, and I tell him that all the time, and he's known that from when he was a little kid. Like, when you coach your kid and you're the head coach and the AD, you got to be the hardest worker. You've got to make it can't ever be a thought of you're playing because you're Coach Rio's son. So he's earned everything he's gotten. He works hard every day. And I try to take the dad role away when we're on the field coaching, and then once we get off the field, I try to take the coach role and just be his dad. So it's definitely a fun experience, and there's only 2 years left in it, so I'm trying to enjoy it. But he's a great coach's kid, typical coach's kid. Loves to work, loves to be around the field house. Has done ball and summer workouts since he was 2 years old. This is like his 9th coaching school, so he just loves being around, and it's fun having your son in your program.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Okay, so let's look up to this season. I know each game you're going to take it one game at a time. What are some games that you think are key in your schedule to see where you're at this year?
I think we jump out of the box with Gilmer, and that's always going to be the test of East Texas. Gilmer's been the upper echelon, the king of the road for several years now over there. Coach Metzel does a great job. Before that, Coach Turner. Before that, Coach Traylor. They've just been kind of built that legacy and that tradition. So opening up with Gilmer is going to be tough. Look forward to that game. We took one on the chin last year. Played a rough game, first game of the season. But it did open our eyes and showed us some weaknesses and things we need to work on, and that's why you play the tough games early. Look forward to getting back at Van at home. They're always a tough opponent. Got great players. Coach Moffitt does a great job with those kids. So our first 2 games of the season is going to kind of really tell us what we got to work on and where we're at. And then there are district games. With Lindale, Kilgore, Palestine, they're all tough. Beast Texas. District 9-4A is always represented late in the playoffs, and it's because the teams are really, really good. And we throw heavyweight blows all district, and then we get to the playoffs, and we end up playing each other in the playoffs. So, it's a fun district. It's a fun schedule. We're going to know where we're at with the teams, the tough opponents we have on our schedule. So, hopefully by the end of it, we'll have it figured out.
Well, that's always the hope at the end of the season. So, what opponent on the schedule this year, maybe last year, you didn't think might have been a threat? Is there someone maybe in the district that you see that's going to maybe improve a lot this year that you guys need to watch out for?
I just go back to our district. It's any Friday night, anybody in our district can get a W, no matter who they play. Coach Holman over at Jacksonville is doing a great job. They got some athletes, and they got a quarterback that's really good. We've seen that in 7-on-7. New staff at Henderson's doing a great job of getting those kids fired up and rolling. Coach Harrell at Athens is always makes you nervous because he does a good job and coaches up his kids well. And then you got Lindo, Palestine, and Kilgore that any 4 of those teams can get in the playoffs and make a run every year. So it's I think a few of those teams last year that didn't get into the playoffs this year may sneak in the playoffs, and somebody that got in the playoffs last year may not get in the playoffs this year. So I think it's going to be a tough district, and just hope when it all sorts out, we're one of those teams that get in the playoffs.
Well, I appreciate your time, Coach, and good luck this season.
Appreciate you having me.
Sir.